So I'm just heading over to Sherlock's hand and starting to put some of the finishing details into it. Um, Generally, when I'm painting hands or drawing hands, I tend to block out the outline shape first to try to simplify things. I mean, hands can be quite complex pieces of anatomy to draw, and sometimes treating the hand as a whole singular object, more from a sort of a large shape, focusing more on the outline rather than the internal details, can help get your drawing or your painting underway without getting too bogged down on knuckles and digits and joints and all of the other little things that make hands so complicated. The obviously good reference can be a huge help as well. I'm using some work. I'm using a photograph of my hand, in fact, for this as a guideline. I'm certainly making some changes to it. The main thing I'm doing is, other than obviously shifting the color palette, is I'm accentuating the the bone structure to give a more aged and craggy look to the hand to match Holmes's quite craggy face. It's all part of an effort to play on this contrast between the very youthful, smooth, sort of porcelain perfection of the white fox versus the very real world human character that is Sherlock Holmes. You'll still see I'm still trying to leave a little bit of the underpainting, a little bit of the green is still creeping through from my original first pass, and at the moment I'm just trying to get the level of contrast right, just to get those details to read, and then as you saw just then, I'm just starting to block back in the shadow on the back of the hand and soften off some of those hard hard finger bones that I've just popped in. There's another example of me using an overlay layer to play around with sort of more of a translucent effect on the skin tones. When I'm painting objects which I require a strong sense of structure, I'll often use more of a squashed brush rather than a big soft round brush to give more of a stronger edge to your brush strokes, more of a structured edge to your to the strokes. Obviously, some people will actually paint. In fact, there's whole styles of painting based around just using flat edge brushes. But I must admit, I tend to vary quite a bit from quite a big round soft brush for some areas, often blocking stuff in or doing glazes, through to more of a squashed flat brush for blocking in drapery is often a good example. It's a good brush to use to get to help work your folds, is just to put a bit of a squash into the brush, and also things like yeah, the bone structure on this hand. It's definitely nice to have a flatter brush for that. So turning my attention to the magnifying glass and the pipe, the I must admit I'm not that happy with the way that these two objects are overlapping. They're both quite slender objects, and the where they're forming kind of a cross above his hand, I kind of think looks a little ugly. But unfortunately, I've tried playing with a few different options, and this is kind of this is the best option that I've come up with so far, and I think it's the one I'm going to have to go with, considering the time restraints for the deadline. Something I'm going to need to try to do is to create a sense of depth so that the viewer definitely sees the magnifying glass sitting, in space, appearing in front of the uh, the the opium pipe. And so I'm going to use color and lighting to try to help pull that magnifying glass forward. I mean, you can see I've already starting to employ a strong rim lighting to help pull that bottom edge clear of the opium pipe beneath it. And I'm hoping to generally just sort of using some nice strong light hitting the surface of the magnifying glass to help create some more of a focal point around that top part of the picture. I mean, at the moment, the eye definitely goes to the white fox first, just because for a lot of the reasons I've already outlined. But Holmes is kind of I need to sort of start trying to do something to help pull the eye back towards Holmes now as a secondary focal point. And I'm thinking that by putting quite a strong spotlight of light onto the magnifying glass and some strong rim lighting, that's going to help really pull the attention away from the white fox and back over to Holmes. So I'm just working out those details now. So this is obviously a time where you do potentially want to use a big, soft, round brush. This is much more of an airbrush style to get that real diffuse light on the glass. And then often, obviously erasing back into it just to clean up the edge, so you're getting that nice sharp edge reading against the soft diffuse glow.